Hello everybody, welcome to today's video on setting up the 7177 RT, or the Cradle Point router. Today we're going to go through and look at the radio and physically set it up. So the first thing we do, take out our packing material. We have the sidecar, which is what the Cradle Point router will come in. This is going to connect to the side of your 7177 hybrid. Comes with the grommet already installed. We have two magnets right here that will connect to the side of the hybrid. We have the information for activating the SIM card that comes with the router. So this is a letter of agency that will need to be filled out. We also have our AES 7177 RT Quick Start Guide, which will show you a briefly how to set up the 7177 RT. If you are going to be using this with a hybrid with the IntelliPro installed, you're going to need a 14 amp hour battery. Without the IntelliPro installed, it's a 10 amp hour battery. We also have our keys and some screws for mounting. There's a SIM card removal tool as well. Always a good idea to go through all the packaging, make sure you're not missing anything. Here we have our components. These are our two antennas. We have our Ethernet cable for connecting, well, two cables here. We have our Ethernet cable, as well how we're going to power the Cradle Point router. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out these two screws right here. So here you can see the router. We have our antennas go in the top. We have the bushing already comes pre-installed with our Cradle Point. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to install our antennas in the top. I always install antennas first. Going to install the second antenna. Now that we have our antennas installed, what we're going to do is we're going to feed our power cable and our Ethernet cable through the grommet. So first thing we're going to do is the Ethernet cable, because this is the trickiest to get through. It will fit through. If you're not careful, you will pull out the grommet. And then I'm going to just take this and plug this into the 0 PoE connection. Then we're going to run the power cable, and this will fit much better through this way. And the clip goes on the bottom. You can only clip this in place one way. There you go. So now we have the Ethernet cable and the power cable run through the back. I want to make sure to install a bushing so we don't have any metal danger of fraying these wires. So I'm going to go ahead and install the bushing. to protect our cable. All right, now all we have to do is take our cables and we're going to feed it through the hole in the side of the radio and our power cable. And then we're going to line up this screw with this hole right here, and then that will secure the radio. These are magnets, so it will connect. They're actually very strong magnets, so it makes it very easy to connect. You can see we have the screw came through, and we're going to put a lock nut on that screw. Keep it in place. Now underneath, there's a location for another screw as well. This is a longer screw in case you have the FACPA installed, so we'll slide that through and then put another lock nut right here. Finally, we're going to next we're going to connect these with the battery, connect the power cable with our battery leads. Red to red, black to black is polarity sensitive. All right, and we got the battery leads connected. Now we're going to connect the Ethernet cable in the top left-hand corner. We have our antenna connected, antenna battery current. We are not going to be using the IntelliPro for this, so I'll disconnect the IntelliPro. And so we can use a 12 amp hour battery. I always, before I plug in any power with AES, I always confirm that our antenna is in place and connected to the transceiver. So next we will add our battery, and then we will connect this to our AC current. Now if we look at the light on the router, you can see we have a flashing green light in this case. Flashing green light means it's trying to connect. We'll get a solid green light when it is actually able to connect. If you get a red light, that means that it has been rejected. Your connection has been rejected, and you can see we actually have a red light now because I haven't yet registered my SIM. Here's a list of all the different lights and what the blink pattern combinations mean. All right, now that we've confirmed we're able to receive our signal, we're going to take and put the cover back on the router kit. Just note that the cover slides behind these two tabs here. So we're going to slide that in. We'll add our screws. And that's all there is to setting up an AES 7177RT or the router kit. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below or contact us at support. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day.